Hi everyone, this is Reality Scoop, and I'm happy to be here today because I'm going to be doing a recap of Sister Wives Season 14, Episode 5, An Awkward Valentine's Day. And the title is kind of getting me excited, so let's get to it. At the beginning of the episode, we find Kody at Janelle's house, and he's setting up a presentation for all the wives to rehash the whole big house thing again, because a lot of the wives were using the excuse like, I don't want to talk about it now. It's Christmas. Let's wait till after Christmas. So now he's waited patiently for Christmas to be over so that he can get a better sense of who's in and who's out. And we kind of know who's in and who's out, kind of, because we see the confessionals, but I think Kody has no idea, but he is so scared of this presentation. The wives all come in and sit down, and Kody's being really awkward. He's avoiding eye contact and even admits this in his confessional that he felt uncomfortable. He wasn't looking at anybody. He was avoiding eye contact. And on top of that, he's having IT issues with the TV. And I don't know if anyone else has ever had IT issues when you're about to make a really important presentation. That is so stressful. So I felt really bad for Kody in that moment. But before Kody starts his highly anticipated presentation, Robin says she has an important announcement, and I bet some of the wives thought maybe she's pregnant again. But it was that her house in Vegas received an offer. And boom, I mean, she's the favorite. Her house sells first. Like, everyone's kind of like, oh, great, Robin. Like, ugh, I feel bad for the other wives. Despite this, Robin says in her confessional that it kind of makes her sad that her house is about to sell because it makes it really final. Like, they can't go back now. One of their houses sold. So, I mean, I just hope that all the wives can get their houses sold so we stop hearing about their money problems. So Kody starts his presentation, and Christine is actually making a positive point. I mean, she's trying to be as positive as she can before she just like slams the idea, but she's pointing out how she likes the brickwork. And, she didn't want to be like such a Debbie Downer. But then Kody brings up the fact that there's only one main entrance to the house, and this just causes a stir because basically they don't feel comfortable with knowing, oh, I guess Kody just left with Robin on a hot date. Like, let's just wait for them at the door. It's awkward for them, and they really don't like that. It's like a hot button issue. One thing that's brought up is that the oldest kids, they want the big house idea because that's how they grew up. And they think that right now the family is broken. Ouch. And Kody thought they were going to move back, but I mean, highly unlikely. Okay, so Christine can't contain herself anymore because Janelle says, I love the idea. And Christine has to say her real opinion, which is that her kids don't want the big house idea and that she likes herself better when she's not living with them. Ouch. Mic drop. And cut to a confessional, and Mary says she feels rejection from Christine. She's taking that personal. And after all that, well, Janelle's kind of frustrated now because she's so gung-ho. And Kody kind of asks Robin directly, like, what do you think about the idea? And Robin's on the fence. She doesn't know what to say. And honestly, I don't think she will be for the idea just because right now she has Kody by herself, to herself. And why would she want to give that up, right? So it wouldn't really make sense for her, but let's see what she goes with in the end. And then you guys, Christine cries in her confessional, and she's just saying, I just don't want to live with them kind of thing. And she's crying. I've never seen her cry in a confessional. Like, Christine needs a therapy session about this. Like, she needs to relax. Like, how bad could it really be? And how bad was it in Lehigh that she's reacting like this? All right, and now suddenly it's Valentine's Day, and they're having fondue. I guess it's a tradition that Robin started with the family. And Kody shows up at the door with 4 bouquets in front of the whole family. I guess that's kind of how they make it less awkward. They just do everything in front of each other. I mean, they didn't hug, they barely touched as he gave the bouquets. But then I see that Robin and Kody kiss. They break the rule of no touching on Valentine's Day. I couldn't believe my eyes. In the confessional for this scene, it's slightly awkward because Robin openly says, like, I wish we could, like, show more affection in front of each other. But I don't think that the other wives are, like, there yet. And now it's Kody's birthday party, and he's 51, we learn, which he looks younger. He looks way younger. So I don't know if it's the hair or what. And all the wives come in wearing shirts that say, Home is where the wives are. It's so corny. This is a total Christine cornball moment. And they're all having a good time. Everyone came down, and Mariah makes a surprise appearance with her girlfriend. It was a surprise to everyone, including Mary, which is weird. Like, I would have told my mom I'm coming, even though it's a surprise. So that felt slightly awkward. But basically, at one moment, Kody's reading a card, and Mariah says she wants his family to grow. And he's like, Oh, you want it to grow? And Mariah announces that she's engaged to her girlfriend, which is so good. Mariah goes against the grain yet again, though. They want to have a long engagement. And that's weird for Kody because he was literally engaged for like 15 seconds before he married like each wife. So he's trying to convince her to have a shorter engagement, and Mariah rebels. She wants to wait 3 years. Mariah has really found her voice, guys. Like, this is great, and I'm so proud of her. She expresses what she thinks, she's doing what she wants to do. This is all good. And now they just kind of talk about how they're not getting together as much as in the cul-de-sac because they're so far. And then we get a preview of next week. They're going to do a pro-con list about the big house because Kody wants to get to the bottom of the issue. Like, oh my God. So I'll catch you guys next week for my next recap, and don't forget to subscribe and like my video.